Hello and welcome to Recharge Wrestling. We're here to plug you into the world of professional wrestling. I'm Fisher and I'm here with our new weekly segment. Well, hopefully it's going to be a weekly segment. Basically, as you know, we used to do TopMarks and SkidMarks every week on the podcast, on our full-length podcasts with me, Krusty and Keeney. And it's something we've kind of got out of the habit of doing, covering, everything in one go necessarily. All the shows. Normally we just do a review of like a Raw or SmackDown or those two together. So what I'm doing is I'm going to bring back a short segment every week with my personal top marks and skid marks of the weeks from across AEW, NXT and WWE television. I'm not going to include the pay-per-views. Obviously we had 3 pay-per-views this week and they were all really good. Or had great matches in them, great things in them, but I'd go on forever if I was including everything good from them. So I'm just doing TV because that's weekly, and I think it's a good news segment to do. I'm also going to try and make it more positive than negative. So this week, for example, I have 4 skid mark things that are quite small things that I didn't like, but I also have 6 positives. So I'm trying to make the positives outweigh the negatives so that it's a positive podcast overall. I think that is what more podcasts should be like, rather than criticising every little thing. Obviously, I do want to do some negatives. Not everything's great. But yeah, overall, I want to mention the best things. And to be honest, it was harder to narrow down the list of top marks than skid marks this week because there was a lot of great wrestling across TV and all companies and segments. 2, now I'll experiment with whether I'm going to do skid marks first or top marks first. I think I'm going to start with the top marks and list them. And maybe I'll leave one to the... Actually, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do top marks, then I'm going to do skid marks, and then right at the end, I'll do my top mark of the week to end on a positive. So we'll leave the very best, my favourite thing from the week, till the end. So top marks wise. First of all, I want to talk about NXT. I thought NXT this week had some really good moments, and the thing I liked about it most was main roster stars coming down. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my microphone. Main roster stars coming down. Mustafa Ali, that was really unexpected and really cool after his match with Gunther. And Baron Corbin attacking Carmelo Hayes. I think that's an interesting feud to do for Carmelo to have a feud with Corbin, and it gives Corbin something of note to do as well. So I really like that. And you had Blair Davenport revealed as well as the attacker in the women's division. So you've added 3 people there essentially to feuds and freshened things up. One with like an NXT person returning, and then 2 with call-ups down to the from the main roster that I think are all very good decisions. Another positive this week from NXT was the cage match, Gigi Dolan versus JC Jane. A good culmination of this feud. It's gone on for a while. There's been some iffy bits. There's been some good bits. But the weaponized steel cage match I thought was really good and a good showing. And I like the way they used the women's division in NXT. It's always felt important. They have multiple segments and matches each show. And this was no different. Really, really good stuff between those 2 to settle that feud. And I'm glad Gigi Dolan got the win as well. To the WWE main roster now, and I want to give The Miz some credit here. So he's involved in my top mark. Money in the Bank qualifier, Ricochet versus The Miz, and they had a pretty good TV match. And really, I want to, give Miz the credit for pulling new moves out of his, putting stuff into his moveset. He did a Hurricane Rana, there was like a springboard, and there was a DDT out of the corner that looked really good. So yeah, he made this match really good, I thought. Well, with Ricochet. Ricochet, of course, winning as well was the right decision. I think Ricochet being in the Money in the Bank match is always a good thing because he obviously is brilliant at doing spots and things off ladders. I think The Miz would have been a bit of a waste of a spot, to be honest, so the right result as well. Staying on WWE and on Raw, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn's segment with Imperium and the Alpha Academy I thought was really good. Maxine Dupree now wearing Alpha Academy gear, so she's like officially with them. Just funny segment, something a bit different. We've got matches, we've got serious promos on here. This was a good comedy segment. Chad Gable's brilliant with his shooting and everything he does. KO really meshed well with him, and Imperium as the serious guys in this works. So yeah, really, really liked what they did there. And then also, I'm going to go to AEW for another top mark, and I have one final top mark at the end, like I said, so I'll leave that one as the biggest thing that happened this week. Lucha Bros versus Bandido, Lucha Bros and Bandido versus the Blackpool Combat Club is getting in my top marks. I thought that was a really good TV match. 6-man, great to see the Lucha Bros in a proper match on Dynamite. I feel like it's been a while. They're one of my favourite teams. They're one of my favourite acts in AEW, and to see them getting good showing is finally good. And Bandido as well has added something to the AEW roster. Blackpool Combat Club, of course, involved in a huge match at Double or Nothing, and then to come out and wrestle here was also great, and they were really, really good. Here, with Danielson on commentary as well, adding to it. Yeah, just really good stuff overall. And then my skid marks. So there's four. There's four negatives, and they're kind of small things that have irritated me over this week. The first one is brand split problems, and I know this is something that annoys a lot of people. Keeney, I'm sure, will back me up on this one. I'm sure it would be his skid mark if he was doing this video. So we had 2 SmackDown stars on Raw. One was explained, and I was glad that they made a thing of it with Adam Pearce not just making the match. He had to get permission. I'm glad they did that, but the fact that they put AJ Styles on from SmackDown onto Raw, is it necessary? I mean, it freshens up matches, it gives you something fresh, but it's kind of annoying when you've literally just done a draft and then you're putting people on the wrong show. And then Shotzi, obviously, this annoyed me because they'd done this a couple of weeks ago where Raquel obviously did the live injury angle, and Raquel, God, I'm getting Shotzi and Roxanne mixed up, and then Raquel, and I'm combining the names. So Raquel obviously had to find a new tag team partner, and she's on Raw, and they could have used anyone from Raw for this. If it's going to be a short-term thing, they could have thrown in Nikki Cross, Candice LeRae, Dana Brooke, who else is on Raw? Natalia, and anyone you want, really. But no, they had to go to a SmackDown person, get Shotzi on there, and then use Shotzi on Raw. And I just thought, why are you doing? I know they have history. I get it in a way, but at the same time, they didn't really play on that too much. And yeah, I think they could. If it's just for this match, because obviously Ronda and Shayna won the tag titles, so you don't really need them as a team anymore. And if they're on separate brands, how are they going to be a team going forward? So I'm assuming it was for one match only. So yeah, that was a slight annoyance. Keeping to WWE, the use of Karrion Kross last week on SmackDown, he lost. It feels like an age away last week's SmackDown, because we've had 3 big pay-per-views since then across the brands, and Karrion Kross just feels so pointless. He called out. It feels like he gets a random person on his card, calls them out, and then loses. And he had AJ Styles in a match. Obviously, AJ Styles should be beating him. He was just about to face Rollins. But yeah, do something else with Karrion Kross. Do something a bit more creative. Make him look a bit better. What was the point of bringing him back if you're just going to book him to lose every week? And yeah, just the booking of Karrion Kross. Not him himself, the booking of him on SmackDown. NXT, sadly, I thought Tiffany's promo was very weak. Obviously, it was her first promo as champion, so I was looking forward to seeing where the direction of the women's division goes. I praised the women's division in NXT earlier. They do use a lot of women, and they used a lot of women on this show, but Tiffany's promo felt like she was reading from a prompter or something. It didn't feel very natural. Maybe there was nerves. Her first promo as champion. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. I think she's been good in the past. But yeah, I thought she struggled with this promo, unfortunately, and I didn't even think the content of the promo was good either. So even if she delivered it well, some of the lines in it weren't particularly good. The fact they just had all the women around there, and then the baby faces attacked her. It was all a bit messy. I didn't enjoy this segment. They're going to do a battle royal next week to decide her first opponent, which is fine. But yeah, overall, I thought that was a bit weak, to be honest. And then my fourth and final skid mark is something from AEW. So I've covered, again here, I'm trying to cover all shows on positives and negatives. I've had positive small shows and negative small shows. And it's just a small thing, but the Tony Khan announcements bother me. I get that this week it was quite a big deal. Obviously, CM Punk going to be on the first Chicago show, but I feel like he's done like 3 or 4 in a row that could have been one promo segment. He could have waited, not done the first couple, and said, like, we're in Chicago in a few weeks and CM Punk's going to be there, rather than this is where our first tour is. Then it's the first show, Chicago. Then it's this. I feel like it could have just been, and the less Tony Khan I see on my TV, the better, because he's not a good on-screen character at all. He doesn't cut good promos. He's very awkward. I wish they had another way to do it. Either bring CM Punk out or have someone challenge CM, like have an open challenge and hint that it's going to be CM Punk, but not like tell us exactly. So we know, but it's not confirmed. I don't know, something like that, rather than just keep announcing things for the sake of it. And I think he does it to annoy people, because you see so many tweets about Tony Khan's announcements annoying people. And I think he's getting a bit of a kick out of it, and I think that's why he's doing it so much now. So yeah, that for me is a bit of a negative, that they need to. It's only a little thing, but it just annoys me. And then I'm going to end the show with my final top mark of the week, which I thought was excellent. And it's from AEW this week. So, Don Callis. Obviously, we had the turn on Omega a couple of weeks ago. We had him reveal Konosuke Takeshita at Double or Nothing as his sort of new protege, helped out the Blackpool Combat Club. And then he cut a promo here, and he got mega heat. You know, Dom's been getting some in WWE, but he got mega heat here from the AEW crowd. Cut a good promo. Got Takeshita over in the process as well, with him cutting some promo in Japanese and a bit in English as well. Really, really good. I thought Takeshita looked really cool coming out of it. Makes me more interested in him as a character. I've always thought, I've mentioned on this podcast before when we covered AEW, when he first burst onto the scene on AEW, I really liked him. I thought he was a great wrestler. But this is giving him a character now, because that was the one thing he was probably missing a little bit before. And Callis, yeah, just super heel. Love it. And he got mega heat, and crowd reactions really help an enjoyment of a show or segment. So for me, this was awesome. And yeah, that's my top mark of the week. Yeah, I'm not going to do skid mark of the week. It's just 4 little negatives, but they are Fisher's top marks and skid marks. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to try and do it as a weekly thing, probably on a Friday, maybe on a Thursday occasionally. So yeah, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe, get your notifications on, give this video a like, let me know what you think of it in the comments. And yeah, watch out for this every week. Alongside our other content where we do more detailed reviews. Keeney will be doing stuff. Krusty will be doing stuff. We've got predictions coming up. We've got Money in the Bank soon, which we will be going to. So we'll be doing some stuff for that, obviously, as well. Videos when we're there. Predictions, all sorts going on there. And yeah, follow us at Recharge Wrestle on Twitter. And keep your eyes peeled to that for more content coming. Thank you very much, guys. See you soon.